Hey, everybody, welcome back to another Reality Skewed Gamers review of our current show that we were reviewing, which is Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 5, which I'm your man, Ranger J 1999. That's Kashmir. Kashmir, what's going on, buddy?
How's it going?
And this episode is named...
Entombed.
Oh, yes. Very, very much there. Um... This one's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's kind of its standalone. We get the introduction of the Wanda Sykes character, and I don't remember her name. I'm sure you've got the notes on this. They go on a journey, and that's pretty much what it is. I mean, we're gonna let Cash go through the notes and stuff. I'll offer some insight, and then we'll give our overall rating out of 5 Bad Batch, what we
Yeah.
think this one's worth. So take it away, Cash.
Well, I mean, you pretty much went over it. So everybody have a good week, and we'll
That's
see you
not.
next week. Thank
It
you.
was not.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, I mean, this was a pretty
Uh,
straight cut into.
yeah,
This is very much its own kind of little episode with her, and her character, which I think is setting something up for down the line with her character, right?
yeah, I think it has
Um,
to be.
that,
Yeah, it's a fee. I think so. It actually starts out with Wrecker and Omega. I believe they're digging through a junkyard.
yeah,
I believe it's on the planet where the last episode ended. I think I caught that. I'm not willing to bet on that, but that's what
I
I
wasn't sure, but they were in a junkyard. But there's several
yeah,
planets with junkyards and stuff, and they
yeah.
were looking for parts. And
Yeah, so they're looking for parts. They grab their part, and Omega grabs some other just junk or what seems to be junk, but that she thinks is cool. So when they finally get back to Sid's kind of cantina headquarters, um, she kind of she shows everybody what they have, and Fee, the Wanda Sykes character, she kind of notices that on this, well, one of the particular things, it actually has coordinates
mm-hmm.
to some place that no one's ever heard of. Even Tex looking at his little mini computer, and he's like, that doesn't exist."
Pretty much, it was before that though. Before they came, Omega and Ricker came coming in with their haul, right? He's
Yeah,
telling stories to the two patrons that are there, and Hunter and Echo, and then we're just doesn't this story change every
yeah.
time? And blah blah blah. Man, she's so full of it. Blah 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 blah. All
The
this
size
stuff,
of the
and they
fish
don't
just
believe
keeps on getting
anything.
bigger, and
Yeah,
just all that kind of stuff.
yeah. So when she notices something, yeah, but that plays into what I thought
Yeah,
was pretty good writing is she actually backs up what she says.
yeah.
She's
They do a good job of always kind of a little bit of foreshadowing. Not that you know exactly what's going to happen, but you kind of you'll remember back. Like, oh yeah, in that first scene, you know this was mentioned, and it kind of ties back into everything. So at the end of the day, she wants to go check out this place, and she's trying to talk everybody into it. Omega jumps right on board. Yeah, let's
Oh
go
yeah,
try
she kid
thing.
delight like adventure,
Yeah,
all that.
woo.
So they go to the planet. That just cuts right to it, and
Yeah.
they're following the compass. The compass leads them into what looks like a small mountainside, and that's where the Wanda Sykes character. Give me her name again. I keep forgetting it. I'm such an idiot.
Fee.
Fee. That's right. Fee finds the opening because they're like, well, it's a dead end. It's like, no, not when
Mm-hmm.
you're they made the joke while on the way there because Wanda was telling Omega all these stories, and Hunter's like
Yeah.
rolling his eyes like, oh god. But he's like, um you see Fee finally show her talents because even though she's a Hunter calls her a pirate. And she says finder of lost artifacts.
She's a liberator of
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
ancient whatever
Yeah,
artifacts.
yeah. And so, but she shows here her experience because they don't see anything, and she finds the entrance, and they go to what
Mm-hmm.
and this was the Indiana Jones kind of feel. It's a puzzle, right? It's one of those adventures like Tomb Raider or anything like that. Indiana Jones, where you go into this ancient cave, and it's got all this weird stuff. And the first puzzle is they've got to line everything up. That's the
Mm-hmm.
first thing. I think that was. Is there any other traps after that? We'll get to that. They get it wrong, and
Yeah.
then Omega figures out that she looks at the compass and can see there are certain you can only see through the compass, but they had to line that up, and then they get to the next. Was it the next part of it, which is just a bunch of tunnels?
It's a bunch of tunnels. We have
Yeah,
you do see a creature kind of
yeah. Creature attacks them.
stalking them, and then finally attacks. And they end up getting separated now, where
Mm-hmm.
it's Omega, Fee, and Hunter, and then because they originally attacked Wrecker, and it's Wrecker, Echo, and Tech kind of get lost behind some boulders.
What did Feet say that this was? They were finding it was something heart of the mountain of what?
Uh, the Skara, it's like Skara Knoll, I believe it was
Yeah, but it was the
what she
heart
called
of
it. The
the
heart of the mountain.
the heart of the mountain.
Yeah.
Kind of a little tongue in cheek there reference to the Hobbit movie, the heart of the mountain, the Arkenstone. But yeah, so that they get separated because there's a cave in when they're fighting that
Yeah.
creature, right? They get separated. And so it's those three, they go find a side tunnel, eventually we'll meet up with them. But before they can meet up with them, this Hunter, Fee, and Omega get to the next puzzle.
Yep.
And
And it's walking over the bridge, or not really
it's
a
a
bridge.
cylinder shape that they have to walk through, but it's a
Yeah.
trap because it's got booby traps where, like in Indiana Jones, like, the word of God, the name of God, and you have to pick the right ones. If you don't, then you can
Yep.
fall through to your death.
Yeah.
And so Omega figures this one out, right?
Yep.
Where she uses the compass and sees that it lines up to something on the wall. She sees that there's runes. She says, well, we got to walk on the ceiling. How do you do that? Well, she figures that the compass goes over here. She puts it in, turns it, and then it
Turns
brings
the whole
that
thing
part of this.
turns.
Yeah. And then they meet up with the other guys. And then there's a scene where Fee, they're all looking at this door. They meet up, right? And they're like, well, is this what kind of puzzle is that? And she kind of smiles, like, sometimes it's not a puzzle. Door's just a door, and opens
Door's
the
just a
door.
door.
Just opens the door. And it looked like it was going to be another puzzle because I don't know how you felt, but I was looking at it, I was like, okay, what are they going to have to do for this one? We had the first part, that was moving things and lining everything up with vertically. This one was a round cylinder, and they had to get through that. Again, markings that you can only see through the compass. And this one was just the door. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. And it was set up because Omega's like, well, she couldn't get the compass thing out of the cylinder.
Yeah.
They turned the cylinder. She's like, well, what are we gonna do now? And she's like, well, we'll figure it out. And the door's just a door.
Door's just a door. I love that. I love that line. That was funny. Then they open it up, and it looks like again, it's a huge room, and you see a crystal about yay big. I don't know, about 14 inches, just about over a foot tall, blue crystal. That big goes down. They're all waiting by the door. She turns it and lifts it out, but as soon as she does, all hell breaks loose.
She didn't get the
like all these adventure stories.
She didn't put the bag in there before twisting.
Yeah, because when she initially took it out, nothing happened, right? She just in there going, and then all of a sudden rumble, and then the whole thing lights up, and it's a whole. You didn't really see much and they really did a good job with the lighting. That it's dusty. You can see some markings, but you're not sure. This thing lights up like a Christmas tree, and it looked like a whole new setting, dude. I was like, uh-oh. I thought when she did this and then things started happening that they had found some kind of ship or something. I was wrong, Cash. This was not a ship.
Yeah.
What would you describe this thing as?
I think of this as this was like some sort of mechanical
Godzilla
dinosaur. Yeah, Godzilla looking creature.
Holy God. It had 4 legs like a horse. Oh my God.
Yeah. And then this thing just
powers up, baby.
Powers up, and then just shoots like a ray out or whatever.
Destructo beam of hell.
Just destroys everything in its path.
I shall use my disintegrator ray to kill them all. And boy, does it start. And you see why the planet, when they get there, it's completely destroyed. Because I don't know if this is just one of many of these things that were there or what this because one does a lot of damage. I don't know if it could do a whole planet
Mhm.
side damage. It did some destructive damage, like even when it came out of the ground.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
mean, well, I guess if nothing's there to stop it,
yeah, what do you?
I guess that's the thing. We don't know. Like, it could, could it just keep on going? Power up, because it didn't just, it went for a little bit, destroyed an area, then it kind of had a,
It was
I guess
looking for movement or targets. So first it
yeah,
went after the
anything.
droid, and
Yeah, it's
then
going after the droid,
then it
but
saw the ship.
yeah, and then they were worried about the ship because that's what they were, because
They didn't want to get,
originally Fee's
yeah.
like let's get out of here. I'm not returning this thing. This is like
Oh, it's
the
the price value of this thing. It was
yeah, this is
unbelievable.
priceless. This is the Super Bowl trophy of piracy, and kind of in her mind. So she doesn't want to return it, but then Hunter's like, we if it destroys our ship, we ain't getting out of here.
And we gonna die on this desolate
Yeah,
planet.
because there's
We'll
and
be
there's nothing
stranded
around.
here.
Nobody knows where we are. Type of
Unknown regions.
scenario.
Yeah, yeah, very
Yeah,
much so.
yeah,
And then it leads to a thing where monster attacks again, so they're fighting that. Fee goes after to go. The thing gets away from her because the thing starts going crazy. So she's going after the heart of the mountain, the key. I'll call it a key
yeah.
because it drops down one of the tubes, and she goes after it. So she's trying to get that so they can put it back in. Needless to say, they do it. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a scene with Hunter and Fee where he saves her. They get it
Hmm.
back. Tick's losing his mind because he can't control the thing or turn it off, so they have to put the thing in and turn it. But when they do, instead of just turn it off, it sets it to kind of destroy itself. So
Yeah.
it crashes, and they have to hang on and survive. And they get through the wreckage. They come out of the wreckage, and then they have the scene where, and it was a cool scene. Mega's talking to Faye, and she's, and how you look at it, right? We didn't, we're 0 for 2, Tech says, for
Yeah.
looking for treasure. But Omega's like, yeah, but we found the legend. We found this
Mhm.
supposed legend. We found it. And Fee looks at her and says, now you get it. And that's that your friend here has the right idea. And then she's like, I'm sorry about your joy. It's like, nah, I back him up all the time. He's fine. I'll just build him a new one and put the stuff in there, and then starts telling Omega about this new lead she's got about this chalice or something that they want
Yeah.
to go after, and you just see Hunter going, oh no, not this shit again.
Not again. Not again.
But I think those are the main points. I mean, this was some cool stuff
Yeah.
to see with Fee and the team working together. I like the very serial, very very much. I mean, it's an homage to a lot of those movies I grew up with, like Indiana
Hmm.
Jones and
Yeah.
those that playing Tomb Raider. It was a puzzle. It's just an adventure. I mean, one of those Saturday morning yarns where George Lucas grew up with that really influenced him. I
Yeah.
mean, it had a lot of homage, especially the first Indiana Jones, where take out the crystal, nothing happens, and all of a sudden boulders and stuff. It was very much that, figuring out the puzzles and trying to get to this thing. For that, I liked it a lot. I mean, other than that, I mean, it was just its own kind of story. It didn't blow me away, but I did enjoy this. I thought it was fun. It was a different kind of take. Instead of them just going somewhere and doing a mission, something, it was like, let's go have this adventure, and
Hmm.
let's get to understand this Fee character, and show that she's talks a lot of shit, but she backs it up because she
Yeah.
knew what to do. She saved Wrecker. She's very much a woman of action. She knows her stuff. She figured out some stuff herself, and I like
Hmm.
the kind of mentorship she was having with Omega. Telling her about like how you look for things and everything like that. Of course, Omega's just soaking it up. What else did you notice about this episode? I mean, what did you like about it? Those are some things I liked about it, but what did you think
I mean,
overall?
a lot of cliches. Like the entire, like the first big part of it, I'm like, oh, this is like reminding me of the Goonies.
Yeah.
Like a just watching the Goonies type of thing, and I was waiting for One Eye Willie to come out. I was hoping, and you're the lore junkie. I mean, from our other show,
This
Lore
was
City, you're
beyond
the lore
something
junkie.
I'll have to look this one up. I mean, yeah, this one I
Yeah,
was like, I know
I
about a
was.
lot of ancient stuff, but I mean, there's the universe, the galaxy's so vast. It's just,
Yeah, yeah, and this was but like I was hoping they were gonna find something that was like that you were gonna like I was gonna come on here and you were gonna be like, oh no, this planet Desixis was at one point a Sith Jedi thing or whatever
yeah, it
that
didn't
it was
register with
destroyed
me.
from some, like I was hoping something like that. That's what I was hoping for. So I'm a little disappointed in that. I was hoping for somehow this to one of the artifacts, maybe something we could be like, oh wait, no, this ties into Andor because this was one of this piece was something Luthen was selling, trying to sell
Could
to,
be.
you know, but they didn't come up with anything. So I was a little disappointed. Like I thought there was a lot of opportunities to tie this into, some of the other shows or some of the old lore or something like
Mm,
that. So
well, the lore might be. I just didn't know it. I
yeah,
mean, I'd have to
yeah,
go and look it up and see how it ties in. And I've been mainly with our other lore videos focused on like the Sith and some other things.
yeah.
So there, I mean, the lore of Star Wars is so rich. I always tell these guys when we do the lore videos, like, you'll forget more than you'll remember because as
Mm-hmm.
much as I remember, I'm still shocked at the stuff I forget because
Yeah.
it's so convoluted. And I mean that in a good way. There's just so much
Yeah.
there. And there's so many planets that we could get into that just have their own
Mm-hmm.
each race and history of them. It's incredible the amount of lore and history that goes with this. So yeah, this one was over my head. I
Yeah,
had
because they
not
were
heard
like,
of this or anything like this before.
yeah,
If I
because they were
had, I
like,
just didn't register.
this is like, thousands of years
Yeah.
old. This was like, you know,
This is older than the High Republic. I mean, this went back a ways, and I
yeah,
didn't know how far because I couldn't put in timeline. Like,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
when did this civilization exist? Obviously, it's been a
Mm-hmm.
long time, but what is there? And people forget we always talk about the lore of Jedi and Sith and everything. And that's the main thing we focus on. But there are a ton of other races and planets that
Mm-hmm.
had their own
Yeah,
bullshit going
of
on
course.
that did nothing to do with any of this. So I don't know who these people were. I'm curious to find out what, but man, if they created something like that mechanical beast, I wouldn't want to mess with
Yeah.
them because that thing was unbelievable. Now it's just one, giraffe
Mm-hmm.
on steroids is best. I mean, it looked like the Accolade
All right.
mechanical form. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying with the way it
Yeah.
walked and stuff and the
Mm-hmm.
neck and the head. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it, but in mechanical form with the
Mm-hmm.
giant laser beam that destroyed
Yeah.
everything in its path.
Yeah.
Um,
So overall, I would give this three bad batches. I really want to see an episode that just blows me away. Like
yeah, we
there've
haven't.
been
Episode three
good,
was pretty close. I thought that
yeah.
was really good, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of building up the things, and this one I don't know how it'll tie back in. Other than I think it's its own self-contained story that just gives you a character arc with Fee, so you get used to her because
Mm-hmm.
obviously she's going to be in further episodes.
Yeah.
And the developing the relationship between her and the boys and Mega. Um, I'm like 3.25. I enjoyed it a lot. Again, it didn't blow me away. It's a really good episode. Anything, it's not in that 4 to 5 category, but for what it was
Mm-hmm.
fun. It was,
Yeah.
made me think of, like the Goonies, Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider,
Yeah.
those self-contained kind of adventure stories
Mm-hmm.
that you hear about. But it's filler, but again, it was fun filler like last week. I enjoyed last week more than you, but because I thought it was some character development and fun, self-contained
Yeah.
story. But I think these character moments, if you look back on what Dave Filoni does, he does these character arcs, so it makes you want the character. Yeah, there's some filler, and you're just like, "God,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this story's boring." But if you listen and pay attention to what the characters are doing, it's developing those relationships for further on when he comes back to that stuff. You're like, "You dirty bastard! I knew you had something up your sleeve," and he's really good about that. So I enjoyed it. 3.25
Yeah.
bad batch out of 5. So yeah, and what's the name of next week's episode? Do you have that or are we gonna let it be a surprise?
I I think it's called Tribe, but I'm not positive. So
Okay.
so I'm not putting money down on that.
All right. So long way to go with the bad batch. Let us know in the comments when we post this. It'll be posted the same day we do this. What you thought, let us know. We love feedback on what you saw the episodes. There's no wrong answer. If you like something more than that, that's cool. If you liked it less, I get that too. That's totally
Mm-hmm.
fine. The only thing we ask in the comments is don't berate or put down someone. If someone really likes something more than you, don't get into that that nonsense. Because just say you liked it or not, or why you
Yeah.
liked it. If you want to have a discussion with someone like why you think this is a good episode or this one, we love that stuff. Just don't get into the name calling and nonsense. Like, well, you're a doo-doo head. Well, delete. You can get that comment out because I just don't have time for it. Be constructive. Constructive conflict's good, but it's
Yes.
constructive. That's
Yes.
the thing. Anything else? Think this is good?
Yeah, I think that's it. It's
All right.
everybody, like you said,
The
like,
thumbs up,
subscribe.
subscribe, all that crap, do
Yep.
that. And we'll see you next week for the next review of The Bad Batch. Take care, everyone, and may the force be with you.